Hi, in last lab 14, we configured DIP. In this lab, in the lab 15, we will configure the DIP and DIP fallback. What does it mean? If my DIP pool got exhausted, so for all other users, they should get NAT with the fallback pool. Okay, so I have configured the interface, zone and the routing. Let's go and configure first DIP and the fallback. Where is my firewall? Yes, interface is already there. Virtual router, we already have a default route pointing towards the service provider. Let's go and configure the policy. NAT policy. Before configure the NAT policy, first we have to configure the object for DIP object. Add DIP, configure the DIP pool, then range 100.64.1.3, 100.64.1.4. Then create one more pool, add DIP, right, backup pool or fallback pool, I can say, range, okay. Now we have reserved these two IP address for DIP and we'll use these two IP address for DIP fallback, or I can say DIPP, right, because always DIP का backup DIPP होता है, dynamic IP and the port. Clear? Okay. Then the IP address is IP range 100.64.1.5 to 100.64.1.6. Okay. Go to the NAT policy now. Under NAT policy, add NAT policy, right? Name DIP. Okay. DIP NAT original packet. Define the LAN zone, destination zone, ISP zone. Okay, LAN, destination zone, ISP interface, which is my exit interface, service any, source IP address is 10.1.10.0/24. destination IP should be any because we are accessing the internet. Translated packet, here select the DIP and add DIP pool, right? In this pool we have a 100.64.1.3 and 1.4. there is one option you can see, right? Advanced dynamic IP and port fallback. So basically DIP का fallback always DIPP होता है. Then translated address and select where it is, translated address and select your DIP backup pool. Clear? Where is my OK button? No problem. Okay, and click on the OK. Perfect, guys. So here you can see, right, there are two pool. One, if your source zone, source address, destination zone matches, translate the packet with this pool, DIP pool, which is a primary one. If this pool exhausts, then go for a fallback. Okay, perfect. Cancel it. Okay, and then go and create the security policy. Add policy. Okay, name internet access rule, source zone, your LAN zone, source address 10.1.10.0/24, destination zone, my ISP application any, ISP service and URL any currently, and action allow. Okay, this is now my NAT security rule. Let's go and commit the configuration before start testing. Yes, configuration commit successfully. Close it. Now access your PC1 right? IP address is 10.1.10.11 ping 8.8.8.8, right? Continuous. Okay, perfect. And go to the PC2, right? And from PC2 ping 4.2.2.2 minus T. Okay, now let's first check the logs, right, for the PC1 and PC2, means 10.1.10.11 and 10.12, right? Go to the logs. Yes, I can see the logs. 10.1.10.11 netted with a 100.64.1.4, right? Because we have two IP in one pool, right? Okay, and 10.1.10.10.12 is currently netted with the 100.64.1.3, 1-to-1 netting, right? So how many IP addresses I have in the pool? Only the 2 IP addresses. So now this pool is exhausted. If I will go and initiate the ping from my third machine, what will happen? Of course, that PC source IP address will get NAT with the fallback pool. It could be a 100.64.1.5 or 6. Let's go and access the PC3. Where is my PC3? Home, PC3, and from here show IP address 10.1.10.13 and ping 4.2.2.2 minus T. See, I am able to ping. In the previous lab, in the previous video, right, it didn't through, right? Why? Because pool got exhausted. Okay, go to the now logs, refresh your screen and see the logs for 13. Just wait. Okay, see, here you go, 13, right? So what is happening over here? See, source is 10.1.10.13. These source IP addresses is NAT with 100.64.1.6, right? First come, first serve. Once the original DIP pool exhausts, all other source IP addresses will get NAT with the fallback pool, and fallback pool is always your DIPP, right? Dynamic IP and the port. Now do one thing. Let me go and delete the fallback configuration. So go to your firewall policy, NAT policy, right? Edit the NAT policy and just simply go and remove the fallback configuration. Okay, delete the pool. Okay, nothing is there. Okay, and commit the configuration. Commit. Yeah, commit failed. Okay, let's go and check. Go to the DIP, right? Under translate packet, click on advanced. Oh, okay. Here you go. Here you have to select the none, means no fallback. Okay, no fallback. Click on the OK, and you can go and now commit the configuration. Commit. Now the configuration committed successfully. Okay. Now we don't have a fallback, guys, right? We don't have the fallback, right? So let's go and yes, PC3 is able to ping 4.2.2, PC1 is able to ping, and PC2 now we are getting dropped. Why? Because of the first come first serve. Pool has been exhausted, right? So we don't have any IP address to NAT our source IP, third source IP address, right? So do one thing now, just stop PC3 ping. You will see the response for the PC2. Why? As soon as you stop the ping from PC3, your public IP address will get free, right? So Control C, free, and look at the 2. Wait. Yeah. Now you are getting ping response. Why? Because PC1 and PC2 were occupied the or exhausted the pool, because in the pool we have 2 IP addresses. As soon as stop ping, right, from PC3, that IP address got allocated to the PC2. Do one thing now. do one thing. Try to ping from PC3. Now we don't have a IP address, free IP address in the pool, right? Because one reserved by PC1, one reserved by PC2. PC3 we don't have IP address, right? Request timer. Do one thing. Let's stop pinging from PC1. Right now, one IP address free, and that will assign it to the PC3 now immediately. Okay, here you go. This is not a best practice, guys. Right? If you are using a DIP, you must have the DIPP as a fallback. Clear? Thank you so much. If you have any query, please connect with us, or you can add it into the comment. Thank you so much. Bye bye.